Hope you're ready for a fun stream, 'cause it's gonna start real soon. The camera is ready. The camera is ready. The flesh is ready. Raw power is what drives the brain to fuel the cells, to power the nerves, to pump the blood in the moisture of your flesh and mine. And that's how we say that we're all toy collectors. Hi, I'm Chris, Vangelis on the internet, and you're all watching a stream. It's true. Hello to everyone I'm going to look at in this chat window now. Hello to Ben Walters and Brian and FlameWar05 and Master Ben 95 and Z-Rose 0 and Adamus Prime and Vanisher and AM and Sam Wellbell and Non-F Productions and Rider Strike and I almost said Sam Wellbell again because, you know, it's fun to say. It's got lyrical nature to it. Like, legit. Good name. Shouts out to Non-F Productions for reminding me it's Friday. By reminding me of my own hashtag idea. So we're going to talk about that at some point today. We're not going to talk about my itchy nose. We're going to talk about how I spent like a week suddenly just cold flu useless. It sucked because my mom came to visit for a week, and the morning that I went to get ready, because that evening I would be picking her up from the airport, is when I noticed that my nose was extra runny all the time. So I got sick just in time to be useless for like half of my mom's visit, which was aces. Um, some say it's Friday in California. Well, nothing bad can happen on a Friday. But yeah, thank you, Adamus, and earlier on, Ben Walters for the well wishes. Yeah, I'm doing good now, and it wasn't, as far as I know. I have a newer test kit. It wasn't COVID, which was nice because I was a little worried about that. It was instead just my usual flu, but I haven't had that for like a year and a half because like the world changed a lot. And so, now I'm just kind of glaring at everyone outside because I'm like, it was you. You did this to me. But I'm doing good now, and hey, I discovered all kinds of lovely new things. Like, my mom is all up on these like things you stir into water that make like this gloop that you drink, and it's full of vitamins. It's like purple. It doesn't taste great. Apparently, it's elderberries. Certainly ain't prime of their life berries. So, maybe the flu thought you needed some extra drip. Yeah, I had some drip. I have a process, not to get absolutely disgusting, but I am someone, hey PT, I am someone who checks, when I'm sick, I check my facial expulsions. I know a lot of people don't like to, think about the fact that they're full of goo, but we are. So, oh yeah, zinc was in one of those pouch things. It's like an Energen thing, I think. So I check my facial expulsions all the time when I'm sick, and that's how I track my progress, is I go like, well, how many times did I see colors? How many different colors? What saturations? What desaturations? Was there straight up blood? Little things like that. In general, like it's worth doing. Vanishers made of vague metaphors and fresh air. If you're made of fresh air, that might actually be bad. You're not supposed to have fresh air inside of you. You're supposed to have fresh air instantly getting processed as it comes in through your respiratory system. Hey, Ruby Nova, welcome. It's really messed up. Tap this. That's a skull. Sorry, I shouted in the microphone. So I'm gonna go over a little bit of bookkeeping here. I have some stuff queued up to talk about. It's all, you already know these things most probably. Matty boy swizzle. That's right. We stay for listen. Expulsion saturation is important. My understanding is you're supposed to kind of keep track of your stool too, but we're not going to get into the poop talk yet. That's for after 7 p.m. I want to talk about the fact that I have a new coupon code. Where's my... Hang on. This is... For some disclosure here. This scene in OBS is the same scene that I just altered this scene to do my Transformers expert dismantling of the Transformers 1 trailer. If you haven't seen it, it is actually full of information. A lot of commenters, they see... hang on a second. They see... where is he? Put him here. They see... how do I turn you on? They see Greg Bulldozer, and they're like, well, this must be absolute nonsense. And so at a certain point, I think I replied to a comment just saying, like, 90% of the content of that video is not, like, goofy lying. And generally anything that isn't related directly to the Transformers franchise is absolutely truthful. I just think it's funny to get a bunch of Transformers stuff wrong, because, like, the habit of your career trailer dissectors who suddenly become fans of things when a new trailer comes out is they always like to go on about how they've always been a fan of it, etc. So I was like, we should flip the script a bit, and I should just imply that the Transformers franchise is a single movie in 1984, followed by a sequel TV series in 2011, followed by this movie in 2024. But I also, if you haven't watched it, I go into a lot of how trailers are cut together, and some very basic cinematographical opinions I have. For the most part, I think at a certain point, like, I got very carried away wanting to try to educate people as to how trying to, pull narrative out of especially a first trailer is usually a fool's folly, because like good editors are paid well to cut trailers to make you think you're watching complete scenes, which you are not. And I found a couple while I was frame by framing through that thing. Anyway, Greg Bulldozer here was mostly here for the YouTube thumbnail, so I could be like, but then I was like, what if I leave him there and have the trailer in his mouth to try to subdue the things that want to demonetize videos like that? And I won! Fully monetized for all 2.9 thousand views it got. Anyway, that was my long-winded way of saying I got a new Toy Hacks code up, so if y'all are getting any labels and you want to quite literally direct support what I'm doing, there is a coupon code. May the Vangelus is the code for this month. And all credit to Toy Hacks, they never say no so far when I've suggested a code name. So I've already been thinking that next month we're just gonna have Vanjuneless and see like if I can get away with something like actually violent like that. I'm gonna turn this thing back on. I don't know how loud it is, but I also finally replaced my aging air conditioner with an identical model, so I didn't have to take the hoses out of the window, because you know that's how we roll. But I'm gonna dehumidify this room a little bit more. Anyway, that was one piece of bookkeeping. I saw Pride Evangelist, but that's slightly longer. That's slightly longer than I like, because it's gotta fit in there. I don't want to change the font size. It's a Krita template, and it took me ages to figure out how to keep editable text in a Krita template that was imported off of a PSD template. Because I don't know how any of that works. All I know is that my Photoshop stopped working because I was using CS6 for the last, like, 4 years. For January, Jangelus. Maybe. Pride and Vangelus is a great novel, yes. Anyway, yeah, but, like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you, like, you better buy from Toy. I hope that my commercials for these in my videos make it clear how I like to approach, like, ad placement. Is I just like to be as, like, clear and vaguely intimidating as possible, that, like, this is a coupon code. It gives you a discount. When you use it, it helps me directly. You feed the machine. That's it. Anyway, the other thing to talk about, which I think I'll come back to later, just in case anyone else posts under it during this thing, is... where's that browser? The new thing I'm trying out this month that I almost forgot about, and then Nonef reminded me. So this is the thing I want to do this month. Hashtag May the Accountability with you. Which is a reference to the month of May and how a lot of people like to celebrate on May 4 for some reason. So, I've detailed it in these blue sky posts, but the idea is this is a positive accountability exercise. So, every Friday, just like say, hey, here's what I'm working on. Like, this is very much oriented towards creatives, obviously, but like, you don't have to be. It's just that often creatives are the ones who tend to like self-isolate and then self-loathe, and then kind of like get into a really bad cycle of like staring at the empty canvas, going like, I don't know what to do and I'm a fraud. You know, it's like a very common thing. So I find that accountability exercises, positive ones, can be really helpful. That's even things as simple as co-working. But like in this case, every Friday, just with that hashtag, if you want to, you don't have to, but then I won't find it. You just go like, hey, everyone who's doing this, here's what I'm working on. Here's where I'm at. And then, you know, just go like, hey, sick. Hell yeah. And part of it is that if you also kind of go like, yeah, and I'm planning to, on this project that, you know, if it's not done, I'm planning to, by next Friday, have done like this, this, and this. And that kind of accountability, it's like you're saying, I'm going to do this in a small space of time. You don't have to. And if you don't pull it off, you haven't lost May the accountability with you. The point isn't to, like, you know, come through and do exactly what you're going to say. The point is to say, I want to do this by our next check-in. And then at the next check-in, you just say whatever you did. And you will be surprised how helpful that can be for a lot of human brains. Just a really casual, like, I really want to get this thing to this point next time we meet up. It can really push you. And it can really push you without the consequences of, like, an actual professional deadline, but your brain will usually not parse it differently. Your brain will often parse it kind of the same way, like kind of pulling all the good bits out of a professional deadline, leaving behind all the bad bits. Anyway, that's the whole idea. And then I figure if I stream on, early on a Friday or, on the Saturday or something like that, I can check in on it, can just go through the hashtags, see what people are posting, make it kind of a fun little thing. This is not a wholly original idea, by the way, but I figure, like, this is such a cool idea, why not spread it around? The original idea came from a Instagram user I found through their Reels algorithm, which is a messed up thing to say, called Yolkness, who's got a Dream Supreme check-in idea, which I started participating in, and I found super helpful. Much like I found co-working to be surprisingly helpful. So I figured, why not try a version of this for May, because I love referencing the thing everyone does in May while getting it wrong, because it always makes somebody just, like, grind their teeth. In a camaraderie kind of way. So anyway, this is just an idea. I'm just going to do it this month. We don't have to make it into a whole special thing. I don't want to formalize it at all. I want it to be casual, and I want it to be in service of all of us. So hopefully that made some sense. I wasn't looking at the chat the whole time. Some hashtag feed the machine. Adding a used car salesman bow tie. I can never do bow ties. Flame405 says having ADD and OCD is a hell of a wombo combo when it comes to completing a task. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. That's another reason. Like, there's a lot of folks. AM here saying my neurodivergent ass definitely needs motivation like this. Yeah, like, it's super common. And when I say creatives, I also want to really stress, I don't mean, like, working creatives or, like, popular, successful creatives. Anyone who wants to make anything. The hardest thing to do, in my experience, which correlates with other people's experiences, I tend to find, is you can have an idea, and then when you actually want to start on it, you're like, well, I'm a fraud. And then if you're by yourself, like, you are your own worst critic, but also your brain will start to lie to you, because it is not an objective viewpoint, it's literally your own brain. So when you hear just someone else, you're like, oh, I'm working on this, what are you doing? Even, what are you doing? Can, like, unlock like a chunk of glue stuck in your gears. I've found it won't always work. This is not like a be-all end-all solution, but, like, why not? Because online we kind of have these, but they're things like Inktober or NaNoWriMo. I forgot what month that's in, but especially NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, it's really easy for that to lose its positive effect, because you'll feel like you're failing at NaNoWriMo, when, like, technically that's not possible. The whole idea is simply that you have an impetus to do something that month. No Nut November, another one with very hard deadline, and if you fail it, you're a bad person, apparently. So, you gotta keep that stuff together. So anyway, these things presented with excitement and eagerness, but built on a soil of casual tone and supportive intent, I think can be really helpful. So I wanted to try one out. By the way, your update can be, I wanted to do this, but I just couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't get things moving. That can be your update. And ideally, I'm going to look you all in the eye when I say this, if we see someone say that, we're going to say, it's all good. Let's prop you up. Might even, if you feel like, you can say, like, hey, do you got any idea what the problem might be? Maybe I can help you out. You don't have to, but I want people to feel free to share their successes, their stymies, and their failures with this, because the point is, you're going to have a bunch of people saying, it's all good. We got you, because we're all figuring this out. That's the idea. It's the opposite of most condensed, I should say, casual tone supportive intent is the opposite of most condensed pockets of fandom who live on one social media platform. Doesn't have to be. It can, all this stuff can be different. It's all about, like, how do you carry yourself? Do you do things because everyone else is acting that way, or, and not everyone is going to, I'm half the time not able to, like, be the one to break the chain, but, like, especially with fandom stuff, I think it's super easy. Like, what's one that I saw going around? Like, we got with, I'm not deep into Power Rangers, but, like, there's the whole thing of, like, Power Rangers, we must decide who is singularly responsible for what happened. And it's kind of like, okay, but like all these things you're deciding, like, are they built on the crux of like, I think this happened? Because then like, let's maybe dial it back. If like the base soil of one's anger is, I think this happened, therefore, and then you correlate a lot of like more factual, what do you call it, trees of knowledge out of that. Your soil's made of plastic is the problem. Anyway, that's the idea. So please feel free to participate. It's on Blue Sky, so if anyone's like messing around in there being rude or mean, block them, because you will erase them from anyone else seeing them replying to you. And like, I don't do it as much on Blue Sky because it's calmer there, but I love a good block shotgunning every now and then. Anyway, that's the idea. I'm gonna go take a look at this later on when we're done, to see like, you know, what people may have posted. I know for a fact 2 folks have posted in there. I just want to leave it open just in case. So let's bring it over. I gotta move things out of the way now. Let's bring it over to the things that I want to mess with today on this, our internet live stream. I'm also gonna turn my phone to silent before that jump scares me. Stay! Okay. Where am I? Let's start with the casual one. I just opened this one up by myself. It's gonna stand. I also haven't tested this shot because I forgot to pull this camera down until we had already started, so this might not look good. Okay, I thought it was gonna look worse. Let me get this aligned here, and I'm gonna mess with the focus because I didn't get a chance to do that. But I got my golden disc Terrorsaur from that Big Bad Toy Store stock that showed up all of a sudden some months ago. Which camera is this? The C920. So, this is like the last one of this family of toys that I didn't have until Filch comes out. So that's kind of weird. Where's configure video? Focus. Manual. I always have to do this every single time. It's mildly annoying, but also, you know, it keeps the brain going. There we go. Okay. I think I can move this back a little bit. Now, how am I going to do that? That's a bit better. I also got to turn the light around. Ugh. So let's see if we can avoid flash banging you in my little picture frame here. There we go. Oh, what did it do? I didn't see what it did to Filch. Oh. Famous Transformer, Felch. Good. Okay. So, I forgot that there was discourse around this toy when it came out until I opened him. Look at them ankle joints. Look at him go. He's just like a little bobble toy. Also, the wings, in case you're wondering if the Big Bad Toy Store stock was any different, no, these are jank ass. I gotta go in and fix these up with some varnish. Luckily, I didn't get around to like filming my whole like use this instead of floor polish video yet. So this guy is gonna be a perfect subject for that video. You're doing his ankles and his wings. Yeah, he's a smooth criminal. Just going for it. And I wondered, like, you know, was that like the one that I got? Because I got this one in Canada on sale. And this one ain't that. This one, well, his knees are kind of funny. So this one's knees are kind of funny. But this one's knees are actually quite rigid. So, but this one's like wing stuff stays on when I give it a little wiggle. That's just his drop me in lava mode. One day we'll get our big fancy transmetal Terrorsaur. But yeah, these are the 2 Terrorsaurs. I don't know how long it's been since you saw them side by side. I forgot how different they are, which made me happier to get this one. Because I actually prefer the toy colors for the most part, but I like the silver. The silver on red makes this one have that weird mainframe sheen to me, like, you know, that kind of weird over glossy 90s CG sheen. So also I didn't know his gun is actually like painted, whereas this one's just like, you know, this one's got all this nice gunmetal on it. But yeah, so I've got a Tale of Two Terror-Saurs, and I figured there was no point opening those. Am I getting Beast Wars again? I don't have enough money to do that. I am too much of a freelancer to have the money to do that. But I am not enough of a freelancer to not have the money to. This is making sense in my head. Anyway, I bought some toys. I'm gonna open them. It's him. Free the nipple gears, as my friend Genevieve said at some point on Discord somewhere. Anyway, it's Free the Nipple Gears. I haven't messed with this figure at all, other than messing with his head a little bit and noticing how much it can wiggle. So let's get him. Let's get him. Someone else mentioned this. I think I brought this up last stream. They made this cardboard way harder to get open. So, you know, if you want some proof that, you know, I'm gonna move this back a little bit again. Ugh. I want to give us some more breathing room on this shot. There we go. Adjust my focus again. If you want some proof that, you know, Hasbro got the interest of the safety of the toy in the box in mind, this new wave of cardboard on their boxes is hella durable. I don't know if that actually means much to anybody, but it sticks out to me because I'm trying to rip them open and I can't. Aw, hamsters again. Can you twist Gear's head off while in the box? I don't think so. I think it's sandwiched around the ball joint. So you'd be risking, like, snapping the peg off. So you can't LeBron him. But, you know, the good way to open toys. Oh yeah, Cypher, yeah, if they are doing Smallfoot out of this one, like, if they're actually going to do eHobby GoBots as Generations toys, that's pretty exciting to me. I like those colors a lot. I like me some GoBots. Those are ones where I'm always like, I can't remember where in the leak list hierarchy those quote-unquote reveals live. Oh, you haven't messed with Warpath either. I still have him next to me, the Kingdom one. This is a cool figure. I like this one. He's like very like strangely simple and strangely complex, but in like this oddly satisfying, like slightly intimidating way, because he has no eyes. Hello, John Lent. Hello, D Rice Raid Fanfics YouTube. Gen Selects. I hope it is. I'm always worried Generation Selects is going to disappear. Just like in a puff of smoke. We got the branded tissue paper again. I could have used this when I was sick. Ugh. I suspect a GoBots 3-pack I think a lot of the multi-packs. This is like a bit of just a blind prediction, but like I feel like a lot of the multi-packs are going to be pretty splittable. No, the branding tissue paper isn't new. It's just very inconsistent, I found, like, where it shows up. Every time I see it, I get excited. I don't know. They spent money printing on wax paper. I like that. More people should do that for me. Because that's who they did it for, you know. This was a little special gift just for little old me. I manifested. I looked out into the cosmos and I said, I want branded tissue paper, please. And then Jimmy Hasbro, like, floated down like the fairy godmother and was like, and so you shall. And here I am. So, I ain't looked up too much about how this guy works. All I know is a lot of my friends and acquaintances and people who talk in my social media feeds have been pleased with him. So I'm down with that. Also, yeah, I think the clear reason they did it is because, like, the other paper looks like packing material that's real easy to just throw away. I had that moment when I opened up Golden Disc Pterosaur and I forgot that, like, his 2 tiny, tiny, tiny forearm blades are just in this little wad of tissue paper. Flame War, where did I get my gears? I pre-ordered this one on GameStop.ca, and it took a week after it came out and sold out for them to tell me they had one waiting for me to pick up, which was a little bit harrowing. Just gonna push these back into place. There we go. So this is all to facilitate that one time in G1 when this... You know? Like, why wouldn't you? Alright, and then he has a gun. Famous Gears' famous Gears gun. The Monkey Wrencher. I'm already tired of this gun. I'm gonna put it over here. Alright, is there like a special spot for it? I don't think there is, because I'm not seeing a special... Oh wait, that's a little tab. I always like it when, even though it has like just 5mm pegs on it, there's like a special spot. Oh, never mind. Because it has a side peg as well, and now I'm seeing like there's a spot over here to put it. That's actually, you know, it doesn't look bad, but I like bespoke little tabs for these things too. Alright, so Gears with a ball socket neck that can actually wiggle a bit and tilt. That's a triumph. The last 40 years of industry development have been worth it. Universal joint here. He has a butterfly joint. That's pretty funny. Alright, he's about to become an action hero when I mess with this more and later. He can T-pose. Double hinge elbow with a wrist swivel. There's lots of moving parts. The hand feel on these arms is real tight. It's like real nice cheesecake toffee. Kind of the same thing for the waist joint. He's got these skirts as the hips. Can he teabag? He can. That's really nice to see. Very filled in, too. I know people still look for that kind of stuff. He seems to be solidified where one might be looking. I wasn't expecting the double jointed knee. That's kind of a nice surprise. Big ankle tilt. You can't wiggle the foot itself forward and backwards, but yeah, he's pretty poseable. Dang. So can he... Okay, I gotta do the cheat. There we go. That's a good toy. I really like the idea of a superposable figure of Generation 1 Gears. It's realizing the dream, right? Of like making it a regular expectation, right? Certain levels of modern articulation. Because then you get a character like Gears, who generally like kind of stands around and goes, ah, and then you're like, all right, but what if you could also hit like just the wildest, like mid-run, you know, we gotta launch the super machines kind of thing, like, you know, heading to my next mission, Gears. Alright, I'm gonna try to turn him into that thing Gears turns into, the hump truck. This thing already was opening a lot, so I'm assuming this is relevant. I see little nubs on the inside of that. I will remember. Vangelis will remember this. Wait, is this like gonna be very... Is this gonna be kind of bad, QB? Oh, there's wheels in there. Okay. Does this rotate? Do the arms go in here? Hashtag, he doesn't know. There we go. That looks right. That looks proper. That's some satisfying mass placement. Can he... If he could do the pose Goku does when he goes Super Saiyan. Yeah, he can pull his shoulder blades back and everything, right? Wild mode Gears. I'm seeing little tab slot interactions. Now, heck, if I don't wish the gun could have folded up to fit in there, because I like it when Transformers guns do that. And they don't really do that anymore. This used to be a country. And now what? Oh, this is a super simple transformation. I noticed on the back of his box it was like 12 steps, and I was like, huh. Usually y'all are saying more than that. But, you know, if it works. Oh, wow, that's satisfying. Yeah, he turns into that thing Gears turns into. The wheels are a little small. Kind of funny. This looks like it used to be a small car and someone really wanted a pickup. And they were like, just put the pickup chassis on top of my car. Kind of like it. Colors are vibrant. I'm pleased with these headlights. Tail lights, maybe? Nah, I never get those. I was wondering how this ends up back there, because this is the one thing I saw in photos where I was like, huh? How? And I even had that moment where it was like, he doesn't parts form the chest, does he? He doesn't cliff jumper it, does he? But he doesn't. It's all contained. Very satisfying. Rolls happily. It is a bummer to me that the gun storage appears to just be stick it there. You know, that's the story of a lot of Transformers nowadays, but like... Oh, I did see you can do hover gears. That's kind of fun. So Cybertronian gears. Let's go. Actually, okay, AM just said it in the chat too. This actually... I know a lot of you don't think the same way I do about Cybertronian vehicles, but when I did this and looked at the footage on the webcam monitor specifically, this actually completely works for me as just like, alright, on Cybertron, here's Gears, and he lands on Earth and goes like, what a happy coincidence, and just like pops out 4 wheels. It actually works better than the Earth mode. Yeah, kind of. Like, this looks more intentional, almost. Like, the wheels look like a weird add-on. Can he float? I doubt it. Like, look at the lack of ballast down there. There's no G1 toy molds whatsoever. Absolute disaster. Obviously, if the wheels could each shift up, you know, half an inch, I think that would help the profile a lot. With them being pop-on wheels, I don't know how you do that in a way that is remotely stable. These would have to be much more intricate, probably riveted designs. Or at the very least, like, thicker than this axle pieces. So, you know what? He's just got his shocks on. Gears saw what Skids did, like, nearly 20 years ago in alternators with the flames, and was like, I could do that. And then, you know, he got shock suspension put in, he went like, check it out, and then it broke, and now he's stuck like this. See? World building. Folding wheels is a pre-tool. Yeah, it could be. I mean, this does look really good as a shape. So, you know. I don't know, this toy is very fun to transform, so whatever they pre-tool him for, it's much like with G-Axis. Like I was saying on that podcast that we put out, or recorded minutes before they announced Vector Prime or whatever. If they just, I want a pre-tool of them. I wanted a retool of G-Axis. I got one. I like it about 80% because it's a retool of a toy I like. So you do that with this guy, and I'm probably down. If Gears was scaled up to match the size of the humans with the windows, he'd be the size of a house. Yeah, I mean, like, y'all don't have house trucks down in y'all yonder? You don't got house trucks down there? Hang on. Someone here, Sky Seu, says, oh, would you say his shortcomings grind your gear? And then something happened. I don't know what you were saying there. What do you think those things he's hauling that are his legs became? Well, I mean, this is storage. Storage units, you know? You put your things in there. And then you put the things you really need to access in the spot in between. I'm going to turn him back to a robot because that was fun. Also, I wanted to prove to myself I could do this without the chest plate coming off. Quest complete. Podvoiski, welcome. You have indeed caught one of these streams. It's incurable. But don't worry, everyone else caught it too. We can just all live together. How do these tab in? Okay, so I just lift them. Okay, it's that. It's that slot there. Like, listen, I'm a simple country lawyer. I don't know how trucks work. I just know I like it when they got a funny-looking red hump in the back. Yeah. Also, yeah, the Mr. On's M, the Easter egg back there, for those who don't know. I think enough people told me about it, and I'm assuming a lot of you already know about this. Bot, I say, bot! What, I say, what all is that gangly red contraption in the back of y'all's truck alt mode back there? For? Got a serious case of vangellitis. That's how we like it. We don't do unserious here in the Vangelist Plague Doctor factory. We only do serious. We only do terminal. Unterminal disease? More like lazy disease. Such a huge Wario fan. Wow. Just taking a look. Yeah, they're just like, just put the gun there. Once again, I mentioned this before. I do want to say Legacy United has finally landed on ink tones and size of print that seems humanly usable. I really hope they don't change it again for the sake of changing it when we go to the next series, but they will. But I really hope that this is kind of taken as an example of, like, check out the legibility going on. It's real nice. I say. Does Mr. Chris Vangelis Internet fire serious laser beams too? Only serious. We're not here to half-ass firing laser beams. We're not some kind of we're not some kind of fly-by-night, casual, harmless laser beam factory. Anyway, gamers, rise up. We got some gamers in here. This is my second Gamer Edition toy that I've ever owned. Not the second one I've ever handled. I got to mess with Toy Guys. I think I saw Toy Guy in here earlier yelling something about food. I got to mess with Toy Guy's Megatron last year when he bought it at Fan Expo. It was okay, but it made me not want to spend full Voyager price on it. The only other Gamer Edition I have is Lil Bumblebee. Recently transformed him. I still like him. I don't feel the need to defend him against anybody. Most people are not wrong, but I still kind of like him. I like this shape a lot. So he's my only other Gamer Edition. Didn't get Barricade because something real sad looking about parts of the legs, and I didn't want to spend full price. Never found Optimus because, you know, there's no justice. This is hell. Never saw Starscream. I heard he's fun. There's no justice. Yada yada. Hell. So I'm gonna rip this open. Hey, I have heard that if you go into Gamer Barricade knowing the things, like going in knowledgeable, he's not bad. It's just like, you know what you're getting into, and ideally you caught one on sale, right? That's been what I've heard from more people who got Barricade later. Like, when you know what it is, then it's like, okay, look. You know? For a toy who is launched with reputation, XYZ. I gotta save this for B-roll filming later. Hopefully I remember it's the gamer one with the gamepad. Ugh. Alright, we got any tissue? No tissue. That's right, NTD. This one, it's for the gamers. let me tell you, we fought long and hard to ensure the jiggle physics of gamer Sideswipe would be up to par with the jiggle physics expectations of the gamer. It's topical. I'm referencing current events. Maybe you saw me voicing someone else's Foghorn Leghorn loss meme post. I'm real up to date. I'm hip. Hip like your waist. How did they get this in here? Oh, there we go. Headband. You're right. You're right. Hang on. Gamers! All right. Gamer, install! Now I'm ready. All right, gamers. Remember, make criminal threats to each other. It's gamer banter. Clearly this part is supposed to be on his body, so I'm gonna look and see where they want me to put it. Aha. It 5mm pegs in. I was not expecting that. I guess that's for whenever they do whatever the other one is. And then they're saying I can just stick the gun against his spine. Alright. There we go. The headband caught you off guard. A lot of people get caught off guard by a true gamer. Let's see how this gamer Sideswipe feels in the hands of an e-athlete. I like the arms. How's the head? Waggle? A little bit of waggle. Makes me happy. Backpack kind of flops itself out of the way when I use the waist, so I'm okay with that. Kicky. Thighs. A little bit loose, but whatever. Don't know what that is. I'll put it back. Got them knees. Oh, I like this. I was wondering how the feet would work because they look weird, but they can do the thing for walking. Can they tilt? Maybe? Maybe? Am I asking for too much? Yes, but I want to know. Is there any tilt function in here at all? No. Okay, so they can't tilt. They're sculpted at an angle. That's right, Lucem. You're kind of watching the toy version of Game Center CX. I am the chief. Call me Chokan. Okay, so can he stand pretty well? Yes. So my main thing was like, as long as the feet work, I don't care if they look weird. And they seem to work, so I don't care if they look weird. Let's see if he does the thing. Because we've got a gun here. And it looks like, actually, it looks like they enforce that he does the thing. There we go. Still a peg, yep. Alright, he does the thing, and you can store the hand folded up even back here so it looks less like a hand. I'm assuming you can store it back here. Can you not? Is that a different size? That's a different size tab. Where do you put his hand? Give me a hand something. Where do you want me to put his hand? No, I don't care about this vehicle nonsense. Where do I put his... They don't actually tell you to put his hand anywhere. They just like take it off, throw it away. Useless. See, the red on the wheels looks really nice. Yeah, it's just very tight, very bold. I wonder if it had like some kind of undercoat or at least some white pigment mixed in before they applied it, because it's very, very stark. Can this really not? Those tabs look so similar. Okay, you can kind of stuff it in there, but it doesn't feel good. I probably won't keep doing that. It does have, oh, it's not a real 5mm port. It's got that cutoff. So you can't, like, stick it somewhere. That's a shame. Also, I don't think that this gun actually has a peg on it. So he can't hold it like a normal person. But part of the reason why I brought Bumblebee out here is because Bumblebee has 2 more guns to try. So this is the very first time I'm getting to stick someone else's gun into someone else's socket. Or someone else's arm into someone else's socket. You know what I mean. Alright, now he's picked up this weapon. That's neat. What about this one? And now he's picked up this weapon. I wish I knew any of the weapon names or recognized any of them. I played the game without really looking at that stuff. Anyway, you don't, as far as I know, Razor Bear 1, you don't have to remove the hands or anything for transformation. It's to replicate how in the video game these are from, their whole arm would turn into a weapon when you switch to it. Usually it's an option, but in this, I think it's usually an option. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. No, these ones don't have pegs either. Why did I think this was an option? I saw earlier somewhere asking if I'd mess with the reactivate stuff. Yes, Gaisu, I've messed with one of the 2-packs, and I got a review up for it, so you can check that out for Optimus and Soundwave. I haven't got the other 2-pack, unfortunately. First gun I gave him from Bumblebee was a laser one. Like, it shoots a big lightning laser. That's cool. It's got an effect part nipple on it, so I bet if you had the right things, you could make it look like it's shooting laser. I'm going to try to transform him. I know he turns into a shape, so I might get horrifically lost during this, so we'll just go on a journey of discovery together. My hope is that once I know how it works, I can just transform him in quadrants. Because a complicated explodey transformation, I don't mind it, as long as I'm able to work with everything in quadrants once I know how it works. So that I don't have to, like, you know, necessarily explode everything. I'm already seeing that these 2 pieces seem to unite eventually, so I'm guessing this is not the only hingery we're going to be doing. What is tabbed into what? That's the question. Like, this is what I had with, what was it? Cybertron Starscream from Legacy, where I was like, I just don't actually know what is connected to what. Once I know what can come off, then we're golden. Does this thing not? Come on, or does this double hinge around? Rexodus! I literally just got this guy a couple hours ago. Hell yeah. Didn't they say on stream the gun squeezes the fist to emulate holding it? Oh. Does it? I don't remember, but I will check. Thank you for mentioning that. Does it have enough squeeze? I'm trying from all 4 directions. Like, there is like a divot here. He holds the tab. Does he? Oh, well, heck, look at that. The tab is 5mm long. Thank you, Sideswipe Prime. Also, hello. So he can hold it. Okay. Excellent. Now I just gotta figure out how this actually works. Oh, there's the part that comes off. It's here. I was just like, what if I move this up and see what happens, and it popped that back out? So that's what I was looking for. Because I could see that these pieces, like, marry together. Which puts me in a happy place. I like it when they do that. Rexodus, you paired him with SS Sunstreaker from BB movie. That's an interesting idea. Maybe I should rip you off. The robot mode I liked, because my main worry about him was, does he hold together, and can he stand on those weird feet? And he can, on my copy at least, so that solved all my problems. He doesn't fall over, so hell yeah. I may be a simple country lawyer. All I need is for my transforming robot action figure collectible product pieces to be able to hold a standing base when they are in the presence of a calm, regular day here at the casa. I should have looked at what the base position on this... I think this is right? Yeah, this is different. This is different. Okay, that's... It's different, so it's right. See, that's kind of a cool trick on the legs. Like, if that's how they transform. I have made just, like, some assumptions about pieces going places. Actually, just noticing that, like, a tab on this door matches up with a divot on the piece I rotated on the other side. That's kind of cool, too. Now, do I have this upside down is the problem. Is the question, not necessarily the problem. Oh, no, these rotate. Okay. So I just gotta figure out what the arms do. Do they go like this? Oh, I see. There's a little... You see a little rectangular tab in there on the gray. That matches up with something on the arms. Well, I might really like this. I think someone told me that they thought I would like how this transforms. Whoever said that, or whoever may have silently thought it but didn't tell me, you're right. A lot of this stuff is hypothetically way up my alley. Oh! Your assumptions were correct. That is how they transform. Griffman, that was you. Okay. You were right. Oh, geez, there's more stuff. Look at this! Hang on, I got to get the other arm put into place. But the stuff on the shoulder pads that folds up, it, like, angularly cohesions with the gray stuff. I like it when they do that. Oh, let's get that internal... A lot of these tabs are very, like, new toy stiff, which is putting some hope in me, because I like it when there's an over-stiffness that feels like it's just hasn't been used yet. It's hard. I used to describe that thing back in, like, the early 2010s as a somewhat common experience. I never thought of a good word for it, but... Here's a question. Am I doing the right thing with his fake chest? Because it moves in so many places. Oh, it moves in another place! Okay, hang on. I'm not doing it right. Flamor05, speaking of Sideswipe, I was sideswiped yesterday. Hello? You alright? Oh, I see. There's a little channel in here. Look at that. So there is an order of operations. Can I just kind of force my way past my mistake? No, I got to at least undo these. Okay, that's good to know. So you've got to do this part earlier. So this is another thing we got to come up with a name for, where it's like you can get to a point in the transformation where it's like, oh, by the way, undo half your work. You forgot something. Like, I'm sure back in the day when it was the Zeitgeist, we had specific Transformers we could just name the experience after, but now I can't remember. I just, y'all know what I mean. That time when you had to untransform the thing. I haven't really, Rexodus, I haven't really found this to be that common in 2024, but I also might have just, like, lucked out on getting the order right. I feel like there were more oppressive versions of that symptom that have happened in past. There's even tabs for, look, there's even like a tab connection for the foot to go onto down here. Jeez. I like it when there are guiding tabs that get almost superfluous but don't get in the way of anything. They're just like, no, let me just make sure you know you're doing the right thing. Oh, joke about life, the world. Nah, I get it. I just needed... I needed to be extremely European for a moment and go like, I don't understand why that's funny. And now that you've explained it, I'd be like, ah, yes, I do believe that is funny. Ha 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 ha. In case it's unclear, I'm self-deprecating. I know I say not to do that, but like in this case, I think it's like, we're making a little fun exception. This thing even... This 5mm thing even has stuff to hook onto back here. Holy moly. By the way, kind of a big giveaway to me that this is pre-tooling for something, given the entire rear of the top of the car is a 5mm part that can just come off. If you know the trick, you know the trick. Uh-oh. I don't know Sideswipe's trick. He doesn't know famous Sideswipe's trick? This casual? This scum? This gamer scum? Oh, ooh. And then it sucks together in the front in that way that I like. And then it's a video game transformer, so a gun just grows out the top. Rexodus, someone earlier mentioned maybe just into like a Decepticon grunt from the game. I'm sure that, like, especially if they delve into the mobile games, there are designs that resemble this enough that they could probably, like, squeeze something out. Yeah, maybe Jazz. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. Like, I'm liking it. I just yanked it apart while I'm saying that I like it, the tolerances, but I think that was more me. I'm just liking that it's holding together, I think. And so when it holds together, it's like, okay. If it's complicated, but there's lots of tabs and it holds together, then, like, we're golden. It's rolling. He's rolling. Let's just get his friend put back together here and have a look-see. Yeah, like, that's neat. As a second Gamer Edition toy for me to have messed with, and I still haven't touched the Optimus, I think it's pretty cool. This feels like what I thought Barricade would feel like that everyone told me he doesn't. If that makes any sense. I still would like to pick up Barricade knowing what he is, kind of like Studio Series Mirage, like, going in knowledgeably. I got academic interest in them. I think like, having watched some more coverage of them, I think actually, if the tolerances on my copy, if I ever pick it up, are nice, I think that Studio Series Rise of the Beast Mirage could really be my thing. Because I don't mind when a car mode is just, like, shredded to pieces with panel lines. As long as it works when I transform it. I know there are reports of it not, so I'm keeping it in mind. But But yeah, I'm hyped that the Optimus apparently is going to get a packaging refresh, because I would like one. I just really I wanted my 10% off, and then I never found one. I kept missing them by, like, hours at GameStops around here. I'm gonna turn this back to a robot, because I had fun doing that. It's like the most man messing with a Transformer on a live stream wearing a headband thing to say. I enjoyed turning that from one form to another. I believe I will do it again. By the way, hope we're all having a good Friday. I'm getting very focused on my toys here, but I want to make sure we're all doing okay. I know, Flamemore, you mentioned, okay, you said you're fine. Your rear bumper needs to be replaced. I mean, that's what they're for, right? So that's good. Still, that can be very shaking of the brain to deal with. So I hope you're feeling okay tomorrow too. Oh, was the 86 Ratchet one a packaging refresh? I lost track. Razor Bear, this is an aerobics channel. What do you think we're doing right now? We're doing finger calisthenics. We're gamers. Sky Sue, I have not found or handled Legacy United Tigerhawk yet, so I don't really have any thoughts. I am too much of a freelancer to be able to pre-order the entire wave of new things, so I've kind of been picking and choosing, and just hoping I find the other parts later. I know it's a bit of a weird phrase to say, but, like, I find that, like, one person in the room tends to get it when I say I'm too much of a freelancer. So, much like my panels tend to imply, I'm just sort of, like, coasting around and trying to figure out how to maximize the ROI of my brain chemicals in as safe a way as possible. I tend to use ROI incredibly ironically, so my apologies if that made anyone's eyeball twitch. I once was on the subway, and there were two very much, like, almost cartoonish businessmen of business. Black suits, silver ties, etc. And one of them was talking about how he's taking his family to Disneyland. And the other guy was like, oh, Disneyland, huh? And then this guy's like, yeah, it's going to be a great ROI on my time. And I was like... I could not help but continue to simply just listen in on the conversation, because I was like, I find it so strange to respond to someone saying, oh, you're going to Disneyland with your family, by describing how it's going to have a good, like, ROI overall because of the other things available in the area, etc. I was like, this is a very clinical way to talk about a family vacation, but, you know, whatever. I'm just noticing the shoulder pads here, so the wheels can spin, but then they've got diameter divots to lock them in place with the line in the right orientation when you click the shoulder pad down. That kind of thing makes me super happy. Zero, I just got Dr. Wu Grand Galvatron delivered. He's silly and round. I have not yet messed with a Dr. Wu Microbot. I am very tempted by the Cyclonus. And then I inferred that the Cyclonus is in a no matter what colorway you get, it is a 2-pack of a Cyclonus and a Bumblebee, and I'm confused. And I don't really want a Bumblebee. But also the Dr. Wu things are so inexpensive from what I've seen. I'm assuming it's not that expensive anyway. Like, I'm not going to throw away a Bumblebee if someone gives me one. I just, like, I kind of want to buy a Cyclonus. I find it strange for someone to present to me the case of, oh, you wish to purchase a Cyclonus. Well, you have to purchase him in a 2-pack with a Bumblebee, because I kind of sit there and go, like, why? And, like, I'm not mad. I'm not like, no, I hate one or the other. It's just like, when you tell me, oh yeah, Cyclonus, the one in the 2-pack with Bumblebee. Comic Cyclonus, the one in the 2-pack with Bugbite. I'm kind of like, why? Yeah, Timu, it's the mandatory Bumblebee. I didn't know Dr. Wu did a wind charger. I love the Magic Square wind charger, who is also trapped in a 2-pack with Magic Square's gears, if I remember correctly. Who's called, like, Spider Mech or something. It's a good 2-pack. I like that 2-pack, but I like Magic Square's wind charger a lot. Okay, the Woobots are just generally 2-packs or deluxe size. Okay. But yeah, I'm digging this. I mean, people have said, like, why does he have a fake chest? And then people have shown the side-by-side of how, like, the video game model, like, impossibly deforms the hood of the car to become this chest. So, you know, decisions have to be made. Oh, I do have the Dr. Wu Squawk Box, but my understanding is that, like, that is so far removed from even the Air Dancer one that, like, it's, like, hard to compare them. Let's get our peanut gallery all set up over here. Okay, the Dr. Wu wind charger came with tailgate. Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to mess with them if they're fun. Like, I haven't heard anyone say they're bad. It's just a lot of people look at them and go, like, that's cute, and then haven't bought them. Sideswipe Prime. Funnily enough, the hood detail is actually on the rear of his car in-game. That's bonkers! Oh yeah, New Age also have a wind charger out. New Age, so here's my approach, by the way, on the Legend Scale stuff. I kinda like Magic Square more, for the most part, but I like some of the New Age design ideas. So what I do is I get the G1 color Magic Square stuff, and I get because New Age do a billion colorways, I always go for, like, a weird colorway on their things if I have the choice. I haven't bought a lot still, I just eyeballed a bunch, but, like, I'd like to get Red Mirage, I'd like to get Exhaust or Slicer. Some people told me Slicer turned out better than Exhaust, but I don't really understand the whys of that. So, like, I kind of like that when they put out, like, didn't New Age do their Sea Sprays in 2-packs, which is kind of weird, but, like, one of the 2-packs has both bonkers colorways in it, so I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I really like the Magic Square wind charger. It's a great example of, like, how Magic Square rely on Manifest on the, like, palm style plastic they use for the entire toy, and that is an integral part of that toy design. You could not do that toy in ABS plastic. You're relying on the flex and durability of the palm style material that they use. Anyway, this is the last thing I'm opening up today. I did also do the twofer. I did get the unofficial bros. Yeah, it was G2 Sea Spray and Octo Punch put together, and I'm like, alright, you know, if I had to pick two... Yeah, Red Snarl, like, Magic Square is absolutely just a taste thing. I love their transformations on the pieces I've got. That's right, I'm ahead of the game. I don't even need this It's stuck. I don't even need that anymore! Now I've gone to Hollywood! But yeah, with Magic Square, you have to... I think you have to be in on the bit, which is that they are very eccentrically designed around the fact that they're made entirely of flexible palm-style plastic. Yeah, Zero, if we were to try to ship one Sea Spray to the other one of us, it would probably cost as much as the Sea Spray. Hollywood. I mean, these are transition lenses. Someone turn on the sun in front of me, and then we'll get some darkened lenses going on. Robot Lorekeeper! I'm gonna crack open some redacted cola for this. I forgot how to drink liquid. Alright. So, this is concept art Sunstreaker. I don't remember ever seeing this concept art. The concept art series is so weird, because, like, this is kind of riding the line of being, like, it's not. It's still clearly, you know, a Sunstreaker-oriented Sunstreaker. This is, like, really close to the whole thing some of us have talked about of, like, wouldn't it be nice if they just made, you know, just like Transformers What Are New? And then, like, some of this Bumblebee concept art series stuff, I guess because I never looked at the concept art, I'm like, this feels like that to me. And I mean, the vehicle modes on the other Bumblebee origin scene characters was kind of that to me. The concept art is it's concept art because we didn't show it until just now. How do I know they didn't make this up? They could have drawn this yesterday. Anyway, let's get this open proper way. Oh, it's so tough. It's so tough. Yeah. That's the trick. You will never have the truth. Listen, me, a consumer unrelated to the production of your film, I demand the right to know how you made your film. I deserve to know. I bought this toy. I'm practically a shareholder. Isn't that like a thing that like people use with Kickstarter once upon a time when they didn't like how stuff turned out? It's like I am practically a shareholder. I pledged to this. I'm trying to keep my snipping on screen, but it's difficult. The angle's messed up. But the future refused to change. Ah! There we go. Ooh. Hang on, I gotta get his streaker guns out here. Flame War, was it that the redacted cola got me? Because it did. Oh no, I've run out of places to put my recycling. Alright, so these leg flaps. Okay, come back down. Come back down for a second. These leg flaps. Oh, Sunstreaker's yellow is just sending this web camera into a conniption. Look how much, do you all see this? Is this carrying over the stream how much the yellow is flashing and changing? I think it's stopped now. It caught up, but if I do this. Okay, Griffman says yeah. Alright. That was bonkers. That was like Titan's Return Blur all over again. Okay, these close up. I see a tab and a slot, so these close up over here. He goes from brown to green. What I'll say is that this yellow looks really nice and canary to me in person. I wonder if I need to turn this light away from him. Maybe no, that's making it worse somehow. He just changed yellow again. I don't know. You know what? I'm sure I can trust you all to know and understand what's going on here. And then we can just move on. I love his shoes! Look at this! Alright, singular knee. I was wondering if the hip stuff would get in the way, but it don't. Do we got waggle factor? We got some waggle. We got I think there's a mushroom peg connection on these arms. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this isn't clipped in. Hang on. Ugh, there we go. You're gonna love his shoes later. Ooh. Alright, so massive shoulder pauldrons mean he can't T-pose very easily. This is something okay, because the axis is inside the chest, people start yelling hot rod shoulders, we can just get it out of our systems and then we'll continue on. Hello, Super Smash Gamer. It's the yellow curse never shows. Actually, I'm just noticing his legs detent at that point to, like, lock straight. That's interesting. I'm wondering if that's for vehicle mode. But yeah, the yellow curse. Super Smash Gamer, I do enjoy a Sunstreaker narcissism. I like it when Sunstreaker, like, trends towards homicidally narcissistic, but that's because I like homicidal Autobots. Listen, I got mushroom pegs all throughout my arms. Why do you think I groan when I wake up in the morning? Let's put these little these little streak slingers into his hands. He's looking like he's having a time. So yeah, like, you know, notable, discussable limitation on outwards arm articulation, but also he can still do this. So that's, as long as we can emote. D Rice Raid Fanfics YouTube. I made a concept art vid for an OC of mine. She appears in Transformers Aligned-verse fanfiction on my channel. Nice. I am a general supporter of OCs around here. Do I agree that his joints are milkshake? Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment. The knee is so weird, because it feels really great, and then it's got this very odd little detent at the end. It's not, like, bad, it's just weird. But yeah, I'm getting milkshake on a lot of these thick hinges. Milkshake is one of the, like, known scientific metrics of hand feel quantification. Alright, now we've got the double streak blaster. Can this just... Wait, does this line up? Oh, come on! There's 2 holes, and this pegs together. The dimensions are off by, like, the barest millimeter. It's, it breaks my heart. Other way. What? How does that fix it? How does that fix it? How does that fix it? How did that make that work? How does... That shouldn't make a difference. That should not make a difference. That's not how geometry works. Is there anything more like the cream in an Oreo? Not a bit. I could say there have been large toys that have hinges that feel like that. I just don't remember which ones. It's using the tabs, not the pegs. What? The pegs are in, though. I gotta stop looking at that. This is gonna become like 40 minutes of me staring at these things. So I get... Yeah, on mine, the pegs are in. See, they're in the sockets now. Maybe I'm janking something, but... I'm assuming I have to get this out of there for transformation. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to turn him into a space car now. I'm just going to assume that I can muddle my way through this like the last 2. Okay, hang on. I got to show you all what just happened. So if you don't have this toy, this is another thing I enjoy. When it's like, hey, where's the roof come from? Oh, I puke it out of my stomach. I like that. That's a good way to solve hood chest, I think. Of just like, what if it just folds up and stuffs into a giant hole? The giant hole in my chest is for my car mode's hood. It's my new poem that I've got coming out. How do Cybertronians know cars exist and who drives them? Well, I mean, there are little Cybertronians, right? So if you're a physically modal society of creatures, and part of your society are like, physically diminutive compared to the rest, it stands to reason that eventually someone would go like, hey, I can turn into a thing that moves fast, and I got space inside me for, like, one of y'all tiny ones to sit inside. What's the rhyme scheme? I mean, I tend to be an iambic pentameter kind of guy, but, you know, I'm open to stuff. I'm just realizing that I couldn't see any of his wheels in robot mode. They're all here. Wait, how does this move? It begins. Hang on. What? Oh, no way. Okay, and I see what you mean now. So he's got all these grippy things, right? What's the most satisfying thing that could possibly happen? Is they fit together like teeth? I could do this all day. Yeah, it's a zipper. Okay, that's so freaking cool. Sorry I shouted there, but, justified. Oh, and this stuff just closes up like this, and it's like, whatever. We just form the front of a car. Have fun. Diabolical. Diabolical. Look at this. You know, I mean, it's a personal thing. People's tastes are gonna vary and whatnot, but it's moments like these when I'm just like, this is why these things still like fill me with joy on multiple levels. It's just these fun tricks of geometry happening, these little, you know, like little illusions and sleight of hands. You know, you can figure out how it's doing it, but like in the moment, it's like, what? You want me to do what with what? Oh, it does that? Well, that's neat. Like, I don't know. It makes me excited. Why aren't I Kean Carlisle? But I am Kean Carlisle. Oh, boy. I need to mess with this some more because I am not getting everything, like... I feel like there's a magic squeeze moment that can happen. This obviously is going to double hinge around here. Oh, the way that it cups it, though. Look at that. And yeah, there's where the tabs go. Robot Lore Keeper, is this a Spartacus thing or a Body Snatchers thing? I like to think it's a little bit of both. I like to think of myself kind of like if I were to describe myself, I would be Spartacus meets Body Snatchers. Do I think Elita sat in the cuck chair while Optimus was topping Sentinel? Well, you know, when I wrote that video, I wanted to save a little bit for, you know, the next 50 facts about Transformers Animated. And I, Kean Carlisle, am able to say that I know the answer to that question, but I'm not telling you. You're going to have to come to Kean Carlisle's Transformers channel on YouTube to find out the answer to that question. Make sure to leave that in a comment, so you know the message gets to the top of the channel management. And we know that there's interest in covering that topic. Because I said to the boss, hey, listen, people want to know about the chair. And I was told that people don't think the chair matters. I was told people are like, people don't think about the chair, people only think about the foam, and that's it. And I was like, you listen to me, sir. But people like to know about details. People care about where things come from. People are not frivolous thrill seekers here who are just like, oh, foam in mouth. You know, like, no, they want to know what's the foam made out of? What's the content percentages? You know? They want to know, was Alita in the chair or not? The management's, all they care about is topping, foam, topping, squirt. No, people care about the chair. People care about the emotional Yggdrasil tree of relations that can spawn from such a triptych. Obviously. Don't worry about it, JTL. It's all good. I gotta spread out this paper for the sake of a roll test. How will this affect the Signal Lancer population? Listen, I'm not here to be an ideologue, speaking to such things. I mean, what, but you know, my platform is, this does roll, actually. Because these wheels are tiny. I was wondering if he would roll at all. When he's got the grip of, like, some nice, like, you know, crusty paper, there is definitely rolling happening. Yeah, it's not very smooth, but it does happen. It does work. I am satisfied. Adamus Prime says, pro tip, get 2 foam squirters. 1 for cooking. 1 for direct into mouth. Not a bad idea. But, you know, intellectual checkmate. Just get food-safe foam. You don't gotta worry about anything after that. Cougar Gaming! Yeah, I'm liking the Sunstreaker. Mine is currently not, like, forming a nice perfect shell in the middle of the car mode, but also it feels like the kind of thing that I've had a toy just fix itself by sitting in oxygen for a day. I don't know how else to put it. I have a non-zero number of modern Transformers where tolerance issues sort themselves out by me letting the toys stand around for a day. And it's real weird because they don't have windows anymore, so I can't just say, oh, exposure to more oxygen. I don't know why it's happening. Treebot Reviews, 199 Super Chat, thank you very much, and hello. I can like this, actually. Hang on, I can like this. There we go. I liked that. Yeah, Cougar Gaming. I don't know if you were here for it, but when I saw that the grippy parts of the Stomper boots form like a teeth interlock when you close them together, I did like a friggin' silent backflip. I did the stationary backflip. The backflip of the mental palace. Tried seeing if he meshes as a gamer Sunstreaker with Sideswipe. I've seen the side-by-sides. They totally do. In robot mode, it looks weirder, I think, than in car modes. Because, you know, in robot mode, there's a lot more, like, much more unique stuff going on for each of them. He's got weird plank feet and stuff. He's got boots. He's got lines on his face. This one has less lines on his face. But the car modes, I think, don't look bad together. I'll turn him into a car now. Academically, of course, not for pleasure. And we'll see how they look next to each other. I mean, as I was saying before, this is my second Gamer Edition toy ever. The other one being Bumblebee. So I'm digging it. I think Gamer Edition gets, I think it gets a rap more so for it gets more of a rap for the number of toys that commit the felonies to a massive degree. That said, I'm going mostly off of third-hand reports of the Starscream just being fun to mess with. Is what I heard from lots of people. That, like, yeah, it's not great, but it's fun. And I messed with Toy Guy's Megatron at Fan Expo, and it made me not want to buy one for full price, but I'd buy one for $10. That's praise. I'm also weird in that, like, I like the Bumblebee, but also none of y'all are wrong, but I like him. So that's been always my very strange base position on Gamer Edition is like, this is the first one I got. It became the only one I got. Every, like, couple of weeks, I go back to transform him, and I start going like, huh, and then I finish, and I'm like, no, I like him, though. I'm just realizing we got Car Walk confirmed. So we can get this down in the wiki, please. What was I doing? Right, I gotta. He wants the waist 180. I feel like more Transformers specifically don't do the waist 180 now, which is kind of cool. I like it when we change things up for the season. I also don't remember what the Decepticon Trooper from this video game looks like. Whenever I think of Decepticon Trooper, I think of the giant one with the big hammer, and I know that's not what people are talking about. But the Devastation Jumpstarter guy has, like, some... I just, like, popped the hip ball joint, but the rest of the transformation held together. That seems kind of baller. Good on you, Sideswipe. Just show off for the people. Yeah, GTL, like, I don't dislike a waist rotation, but especially on third-party toys. Sometimes I feel like the waist rotation is added to the transformation plan before the transformation plan has been figured out, where it's just like, all right, first step, make sure the waist turns 180 degrees. You know, it's like a checkbox that has to be ticked almost. Every time I see a Fans Toys transformation video, and it's like, now the waist rotates, and I'm like, stop it! You don't have to do this. Stop showing off for the people. I also haven't watched, like, every Fans Toys transformation. I just, like, what is it? When they put out a new Scourge, I was like, I should see how their Scourge and their Cyclonus work. Because I have the Galvatron, and now that they put out an actual video for it years after I got it, I don't mind it as much. And then I looked at how... So their Scourge was the first one I looked at. And there's parts of... Like, it's the Fans Toys story for me. There's parts of it that I think are really cool. And then they get into, like... the big question moment of like, oh, how are you going to solve this? And then they solve it, like, in the least interesting way possible of like, what if just everything moves infinitely until it's done? And it's like, okay. Because the bummer is that often I find when there's like a big, you know, a Fans Toys moment of like, everything is moving 100 million times, it's after something else did something really elegant. And I always get the vibe that like someone figured out a really elegant move and then was like, I need a break. And it was told, no, finish it first. And then it went like, I don't know, just, I'm tired. You know, like, I feel like a beautiful moment happens and then someone, like, pushes them forward when they need to, like, have like, a 5-hour nap, you know? Like, I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, Sideswipe Prime, I agree. Like, it's... That is the upside of the waist rotation, right? Is it's like, that means the toy has a waist joint in robot mode, and it's like, true. But yeah, I think these look fine next to each other. Like, it's weird. This actually feels like this should be in Legacy, this moment, right? Like, I like the idea of these being the Sideswipe and Sunstreaker of the Legacy fiction that doesn't exist. So, like, these two both pop into Legacy Planet, and then, like, they have just, like, one beat of looking at each other, and they've never met, but they know who they are, and then they just snap into it and go, like, no, let's get to work. You know? Like, I feel like that would be kind of cool. Do you ever think about how MP Megatron the First was designed over a long weekend? Did you know that made me like that toy more? Because when you know that that thing was done in 3 days, it goes from being like, what happened here, to like, how did you accomplish this? Because, like, In my mind, if you tell me figure out for the first time ever how Megatron from the cartoon will turn into a gun, and then you look at that, you're like, I wouldn't have figured that. I would have friggin' locked myself in a closet. I would have given up on the spot. And like, yeah, the spine struts nowadays, they're kind of like a thing you look at and go like, oh man, everything's on these jointed sticks. Like I do it all the time. But like back then in like what, like 2005 or whatever, it's like some of this tech didn't really exist unless you were nose deep in like high-end aughts Bandai stuff. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It made me want to keep mine. I've got an original with all the Just-A-Toys stuff on it. The Just-A-Toys add-on for original MP Megatron, it also justifies that toy. No wordplay intended, I just realized what I did. But like, that makes his gun mode like so frigging enormous. It's like a shoulder cannon. GTL, I wasn't listening to a word Chris said about waist swivels. It's fine, it's fine. We got the VOD. We're... But, yeah, I saw earlier, Treebot, do you think MP44's price will go down when the Fans Toys Prime comes out? I don't know, because MP44 is like... If its price didn't go down from getting luxury knocked off as hard as MP36 did, I don't think this is going to change anything, because people will simply want to collect the MP44. Also, like, I got... Not to be a bummer, but I am about this. Like, I got no faith that the Fans Toys Optimus Prime will actually be fun to play with. Unless it is by the designer who did their Motormaster, then there's a chance. Because their Motormaster is actually kind of neat. But it also was demonstrable of the fact that there's clearly somewhere between, like, 1 to 12 Fans Toys designers who are so disparate from each other that, like, there are really obviously different design minds from toy to toy in there. It's why I have trouble getting excited about any other stuff, because I'm like, well, is it going to be by the one who did their Skyfire, or is it going to be by the one who did their Cup? You know, like, I don't know. I like the idea of Megatron not mass shifting and just being a giant floating handgun. I think that's actually kind of intimidating. Like, for a scene, you know? Yeah, RC Filmworks, that's not wrong. With Masterpiece being finished, it's now possible to have a complete MP-number collection. That might make people start going a little bonkers for some of the ones that are not, like, floating around everywhere. Skyisu, I feel like I watched a video of their Swerve and I thought it looked cool. But that's all I remember. Alright, big question. There's a recent push to use ball joints for fold-away wrist swivels. Why now and not sooner? Will we live to regret it? I wonder if, and I'm overthinking this. Excuse me. My nose is getting a little clogged for some reason. I'm not sick anymore! I wonder if, and this is in Hasbro Mainline, yeah. I wonder if it is, like, in part, just, like, it never really came up. But I also wonder if, like, they're feeling more confident. Maybe this actually doesn't make sense. I was going to say, maybe there's, like, a better feeling of confidence in having, like, a more load-bearing thing, like a wrist that holds guns, being a ball socket joint now. But I think I'm overthinking that. There are times I know when I've overthought this stuff, and then someone more related to toy industry has basically said, like, that's more of a coincidence than something anyone's consciously thinking about. But yeah, I don't know. It might just be, like, you know, they've just been relying on the mushroom peg wrist when they have it for so long that, like, what if we try having it on a ball socket again to fold in? Like, something I've brought up before on, I think maybe the podcast, is, like, when people get into the discussion of, like, different eras of mainline Transformers in the last 15 years, for the most part, the Takara Tomy team who do the engineering have, as far as I know, mostly been the same. So, like, obviously the Hasbro teams have a lot of input, but, like, at the end of the day, there is also still this same core group of, in some cases, you know, rather veteran-level minds who are still working on the engineering slash design end of a lot of how these figures work. For a lot of the mainline stuff, at least. I'm always curious what the relationship is between them and the mysterious LA design team, but yeah, like I think in cases like this wrist ball joint thing, it could just be that it just never came up, and then someone tried it and it worked, and they're like, hey, look, and they're like, oh, sick, and just they just 2 years ago, whenever they figured it out, they're like, oh yeah, well, more like 1 year, I guess, for that, but like, they're like, well, let's give this a try, yeah. Scorp X7, yeah, it seems like I'm totally not the one who invented it. I'm doing it because someone else did it, because someone else did it, because someone else did it. But, like, these two shipped together. So I was like, yeah, I want it. I want the two unofficial bros. I want the most legacy thing happening in the line that are not called legacy. Yeah, why don't they fold down more as opposed to sideways? RC Filmworks says, if I were to speak from just, like, some lived experience talking to people, it's just probably because they didn't think of it until, like, the toy was done. Like, there's a lot of ideas that we as fans kind of hook into, that just don't really exist on the toy design end. Like, we are still, as much as we're all kind of into the same thing in our own ways, there is still, like, a line between the collector and enjoyer and the designer and engineer with Transformers that, like, there's still language that crosses that line that does not necessarily translate or make it across that line. Also, yeah, like, Kuga Gaming is not wrong. Like, a fold-down wrist could give away depending on what the toy is supposed to be holding. In general, it's kind of like, whenever there's a, like, why didn't they do this? It's like, there's a 60% chance they tried it and it didn't work for one reason or another in tandem with the rest of the piece. There's a 40% chance that just nobody thought it was important or even thought of it. And, that just happens. Treebot, is the narration of Kiss Players in English I told you about available? I put it up somewhere when Kiss Players was new. I don't know if I still have the file, but if anyone... Like, there's a translation of the, It was from the audio CD that came with Kiss Players Optimus, Kiss Players Convoy, when he's like, Melissa is having too much soft serve ice cream. She's getting fat. And, like, he's like, staring at her in a bikini, thinking about how she's eating too much ice cream. And I was like, at the time, I was just like, this would be so perfect to have Peter Cullen fully dead-ass seriously reciting all of this with, like, G1 background OST playing, like, through it, like, heroic music. Like, dun, 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 dun. Melissa is eating too much ice cream. That was mostly the bit. I don't know where it would be, though. I don't know if I still have the file anywhere, either. I can dig around. I can just do it again, though. If I remember right, the translations of that audio play are still existing somewhere, so I could just read it again. I'm always down to introduce English 80s style voicing to Kiss Play scripts, because I think that it's, like, mildly dystopian in a fun way. Kuga Game, it's like how sliders don't really show up in anything load-bearing anymore, but sometimes Biceps still telescope, or Legacy Sandstorm has the pin rivet track sliders. Yeah, like, I think on a design engineering level, there's always going to be experimentation and testing and just figuring stuff out, and I think a lot of it will just exist in toys that come out, as long as it doesn't, like, fully compromise its base existence as an on-the-shelf product. Pee-pee poo-poo has arrived! But yeah, Treebot, I'm down. Just, like, remind me, or if you can find the script for that thing, I don't know if it's on the TF Wiki, but I know that there's a translation of that first audio play. It's all about Optimus watching Marissa on the beach, being weird about it. Knee Stuff has also arrived. What do you think would happen if people didn't trust Armada Starscream because the Starscream of their universes are evil? That's, again, predispositions towards character types should be the backbone of a lot of legacy fiction, in my opinion. I think it'd be really interesting. as a way of exploring what Transformers tends to be. We got people popping off for both Pee Pee Poo Poo and Knee Stuff. Knee Stuff, by the way, does cool videos you should be checking out. You should be checking them out. Sorry, you might not have gotten the message there. You should be checking them out. Been intonating your guitar and it is really boring. Oof. I need to blow my nose, and I'm not going to make you listen to that, so check it out. We're back. Oh no, I'm deaf suddenly. Pee Pee Poo Poo says, I make music you should be checking out in like a couple months because nothing's done yet. Dang. I was gonna say, it's Bandcamp Friday. What are we all buying on Bandcamp Friday? I want to buy the fresh Pee Pee Poo Poo track on Bandcamp Friday, please! Legit though, let us know when you finish something up, if you get something up somewhere. I love music making. Treeball Reviews, you hit 800 subscribers today. Congratulations. Clapping over here so I don't pop your ears open. I want to buy a band and a camp. Yeah, get both. You're buying the Cattle Mutilator pre-order. Dang. I guess I am. I actually just bought, what was it? I remembered it was Bandcamp Friday because Cybertronic Spree posted something and they had a track go up, and I was like, I bought their t-shirt, so I should buy their music. So I bought that track, and I bought Ravage. I don't think I can't remember if I bought the Ravage album properly when I saw them, so I figured I'll just buy it on Bandcamp, and it's Bandcamp Friday. That's $10 US going straight to them, hopefully. But yeah, how are we doing for time? I'm all done with my openings, and hot damn, we did all that in like 2 hours. Let's pop back for a sec. Pop it back up here. Let's pop this over to the browser feature. Let's see if anyone else posted on the hashtag. Imagine being such a fake Cybertronic Spree fan. Listen. I walked up to them very awkwardly at 2 different concerts to say, you guys are pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to go over what I got here for May the Accountability with you. For those who are coming to the stream now, I'll just quickly explain. This is the thing I want to do this month. This is very much inspired by another creator who I found on Instagram who has a Dream Supreme check-in thing. Creator's name is Yolkness. And the Dream Supreme check-ins I found were really helpful in tandem with like the co-working stuff I've gotten into at being like a positive accountability exercise. So I wanted to try to make like a little like May month positivity accountability exercise. So it's May the Accountability with you. So every Friday, if you're working on something, post it with the hashtag on Blue Sky. You can post it elsewhere, I guess. I guess I should say you can look at... I guess I should say you can post it wherever you want. It's just like, I don't know if I'll see it. But it doesn't matter. Post it wherever you want. Spread the word. And just post what you're working on. And it doesn't have to be anything impressive. It doesn't have to be finished. It can even just be, what I did today was I couldn't get through a creative rut. But the idea is you share it, and then anyone who's looking at this can, give you some cheer, give you a little bit of a push on the back, a little bit of like, you got this. Maybe even a little bit of advice or help if you got a specific problem you've run into. Sideswipe Prime, I can't do that. I signed an NDA. It's all good. It's all good. You can cheer everyone else on. But the basic idea is like it's really easy when you try to work on creative stuff. It's really easy and common for your brain to try to crawl up, as they say, your own ass and prevent you from getting anything done by flooding you with ideas like you're a fraud, you got an idea, you're never going to get that pen to paper. Sometimes all it takes is someone else to go like, hey, what you doing? To like clear that snot out of your passages. So that's the idea with this. And then I figured, like, hey, if I'm streaming, I'll take a look at what's on here. So what I wanted to contribute to it is my next review. I've got the script underway. It's Legacy Animated Optimus. I reviewed the other 2 Legacy Animated toys in a row, so I figured people could probably guess I was going to do him next. But I've got the script underway. Fearless Fire Truckers. It's fun to say. That's why it's in there. And I'd really like to get this review like made for the most part over the weekend. And what I'm also doing is I'm saying by the next check-in, I'd like to have like 2 more videos in progress. If I don't, I don't. But kind of like saying what you want to do the next time we all meet up, quote unquote, is a really nice way to introduce the positive sides of a deadline with none of the negatives. Because this is absolutely no competition, no stakes. If you don't hit your deadline on this, it doesn't matter. It's part of the experience. But ideally, this will help some folks for like, 4 Fridays. Kind of feel a little bit charged up. It's just an experiment I wanted to try. And like I said, I didn't invent this. Like, I've seen a similar thing out of Yolkness and out of the co-working I've been doing, and I think it's all really cool. Basically, positive accountability exercises, I think, are an underutilized and really fun thing that we can all be doing. JTL reminds you you're supposed to be writing a book you want to publish by the end. So yeah. You write any book? Did you write any book? And if not, that's cool. You feel like you got an idea of how to get writing some book? Got any gum in your brain you think people could help get out? I don't know. I got toothpicks. Cougar Gaming, I need to get back to Masqueraders. Yeah, like like I said, this is trying to take like, Inktober vibes, NaNoWriMo vibes, No Not November vibes, as someone else brought up earlier on. I guess that's slightly different. But like without the whole thing of like, you've got to finish something, and it's more just like, this is a little bit more casual, a little bit more human oriented. Hello, Dynamo Dave. So that's my thing I put in, and then we got something from Shattered Needle here, which is the start of something I'm assuming plush oriented. They say it's not impressive or interesting. I disagree! Because when you make plush stuff, especially plush Transformer stuff, especially Shattered Needle style plush Transformer stuff, like I said it down here, yeah, I find the whole thing literally magical, that like a bunch of string and flat things can form into these often cuddly formed like robot representations. I think that stuff is amazing, and so to me this is magical still, because I'm like, wow, whatever this is probably going to make into some kind of form that does not remotely resemble this by the time it's done. I don't know, I think work in progress is cool. And then let's see, I'm going to click this thing. I think this is how these work. So yeah, we got one here from Non-F. Make sure this is on screen. Yeah. Got a pile of clear rods and a fresh pack of hot glue. Time to give all my boss fight studio doozers somewhere to live. Don't know what's happening there, but I'm guessing we're going to melt a bunch of stuff. What's the alt text? It's a doozers figure with a pile of clear rods. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited. Let's see. We got one here from M. Cypher. Decided to do one new wiki toy pick per weekday this month. Apparently no theme, just whatever tickles my fancy, and is lacking non-stock imagery or imagery at all. So we got fun deep cuts. So we've got Magna Stampede from 2003 Universe here. A white and gold, vaguely zebra deco robot unicorn. So yeah, it's just like, this is something that you can take from miniatures painting. It doesn't matter if you're doing the right thing. It just matters if like you're doing something. If you pick up a paintbrush and put a swipe of orange on a white primed piece. If you have a bunch of things you want to photograph, so you photograph one. You just pick one up and photograph it. You have now accomplished more than before you photographed it. And also, I think it's a pretty sick looking photograph. And I forgot Magna Stampede exists until I saw the name. We got one here from, make sure I read this properly, from G2 John. Keep putting off finishing his arm because I've already done it twice because of paint scraping. I'm using 2K Clear for it. Wish I wasn't such a perfectionist with my kits sometimes. So this is, I believe, the Flame Toys Devastator being done up in G2 colors. This is looking sick, and I totally hear you on getting way obsessed on paint scraping. I've actually been wanting to try custom painting a Transformer specifically to, like, bully my brain to deal with the notion that paint will scrape where there is joint friction, because Grimlockamus just does it. And makes the thing, paints the thing, and then it's just like, if some of the paint scrapes, that happens. And I want to be able to adopt that mindset, so I want to try it sometime. Incidentally, Universe Magnus Stampede looks neat. Thank you, Griffman. Take it easy, knee stuff. Have some good tacos. Let's see if there's anything else in here. That's Nonf reminding me that I made up that hashtag. Thank you. Fandom's MJ. I've started rewriting the 4th part in my fanfiction series, Star Fox Restored. The first 2 chapters are done. Let's see. Screenshot of a Word document showing some text of a story where the 2nd chapter ends. The header for chapter 3 has been added. It is page 10 of 11. 4,689 words. Hell yeah. Respect fanfiction, IMO. We got from General Techno, who streams on Twitch, if you didn't know, does toy unboxings, and plays, if I recall correctly, a bunch of that Honkai. Been working on game show programming for Otafest next week, both in the game content and the actual building software sense. Yeah, Techno, like, builds software for these game show presentations. You might have seen, was it Wheel of Fortune at TFCon? This is an anime-themed Spyfall this year, and this is where I'm at for the audience screen with placeholder test entries. Sick. I like the Technodrome. That's just the Death Egg from Sonic, isn't it? Wheel of GameCon. That's neat. That's so cool, just like designing a game show interface for a panel presentation, but it's not like a presentation, it's literally a game show. The film strips move slowly, the monitors slowly change, and the monitors have CRT scan effects. That's badass. So yeah, let's see, was there anything else slapped onto the reply thread here? I don't think so. I think we saw them all. So yeah, thanks to everyone for sharing, and I'm going to... If I don't do it next Friday, so one of you do it. Just be proactive. Just start doing it on Friday. Because then if I forget, I'll be like, oh god, yeah, this thing! This thing! But yeah, Griffman, I did some Transformers painting a few weeks ago. Hell yeah! I want to offer, hopefully, and like I think I said this earlier too, this isn't like automatically going to work for everybody, but like I have found it so shockingly useful and helpful, these positive accountability exercises, that like I only really see a benefit as long as, like, I'm trying to be really loud, obnoxiously so, and overly clear that this is not a competition and there's no way to screw this up, and that you can just report that you weren't able to get anything done if you want to. You don't have to. You don't even have to do it every Friday. It's just it's meant to be like a way for some communal vibes to fuel each other, with the idea that maybe this will inspire other people to figure out other ways to, like, get this happening virtually, because it's really hard to make this stuff happen virtually, I find, because usually you'll watch someone doing something and go like, damn, I wish I could be doing that, and you stare at, like, empty page and you're like, well, I can't, and move on. Obviously not the case for everybody, but like it just seems like such a shared experience, right? Anyway, that's the thing that we were doing. I'm gonna go back to Facecam. Unless, I'm gonna take a quick look. I want to see if there's any news. Coupon code, by the way. May the Vangelus on Toy Hacks. Anyway, I'm gonna see if there's any news. So while I'm here and I got some pep in my step. Unique Toys. Okay, that's them doing it, so I'm interested. We got the trilogy of discourse right here. Griffman, you did all the gold on Metal Hawk. Oh, dang. Sorry, my Metal Hawk is actually like next to me. So you mean just all the stuff that is like that kind of like mustardy yellow you just did over with like a shiny gold? Or I'm guessing like a metallic gold, because that seems pretty badass. JT Elm, how do I positively keep my coworker focused on our gentleman's Pokemon battle We started at the same time. I've cleared it while she's only halfway through the story. You should go like, you need any help with that? I missed this earlier. Kuga Gaming. Can't wait for SS86 Optimus because you're getting increasingly contemptuous of Earthrise Prime's awful performance, limited posing, boring legs. I don't mind him that much, but I also think it's really funny that Earthrise Optimus Prime's already not entirely his legs are the thing that has like a weird growth like plastered themselves onto Laser Prime, and every time an Optimus comes out now, we're like Earthrise? Where's the gas can? Earthrise? Where's the weird little flippy bit from Siege that they never took away? Earthrise? Is it here? But also, yeah, I'm so hyped for those legs to take a break. They've done so much for us as a society. They deserve the time off. Griffman, okay, you did with a Gundam Marker X yellow gold. Nice. 3 unwise men. I'm hyped for all 3 of these toys. Well, okay. I'm hyped for the Optimus, because I think he looks cool. I'm hyped for the Vector Prime, because I think he looks cool. I am low-key excited for the Sideburn, because Shadow Striker ended up being better for me than I expected. And I find there's a certain uncanny valley factor when you have a Rid Sideburn with hinges. I got that from the OTFCC one from way back. And so I want my brain to process this one in person, because like demonstrably it's kind of Sideburn, but like Sideburn with like almost no ball joints just feels so weird. It's like an analog horror duplicate of Sideburn. Skaisu. Ska is EU. Ska is Europe. Will you ever tier list every Optimus Prime or Primal based on how kissable they are? My main thing with that is I would need someone to make the tier list for me, because I will forget Optimuses and Primals. I almost invariably forget ones that exist. So I feel like I'd be bringing the hammer down on myself by trying to make that. Robot Kingdom newsletter. Where's the news? Oh, here we go. Did you all hear about the bad news about the Hot Wheels Bumblebee? That he's 1 per case, apparently? Is that on here somewhere? Because I know Army of Bees was wanting to get this, and then Army of Bees was the one who told me that this one is 1 per case, which means fighting the Hot Wheels people, which means having to pretend this doesn't exist. One per case of like 70. Yeah. Because I think Bees, was it you or Bees who figured that like currently the only way to know you can get one is if you buy an entire case for $120, which is like a lot of Hot Wheels. That's a lot of Hot Wheels when you just want the one. Oh, if you click the story, it has a case breakdown. All right. What's that mole machine looking thing on the bottom? So, okay, there's the Bumblebee over on the second from the top, second column from the left is where the Bumblebee is. And this is a bunch of stuff that you are getting. Oh, weird. Hot Wheels is so weird because I feel like it kind of knows people are buying it for Gaslands, but it kind of doesn't care, but it kind of does care. Because otherwise, why is there a tank? Is that the Groo-mobile? I don't... Dynamo Dave, there is no fighting the Hot Wheels people. There is only losing. Okay, Sideswipe Prime, you're the one who found the whole case pre-order. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's a bummer. But there are a couple of 1-pers, right, in here? They can't grab them all. Bison Dogs, I love the tank is what stood out to you, not the neon rubber duck car. Well, the rubber duck cars are normal. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing. I've seen I see rubber duck cars. There's also 2 per case. That's easy to get. Oh, the Batmobile from BTAS is in here too, and also is 1 per case. Oh. No, there's a bunch of 1 per cases in here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really mess with Hot Wheels. I bought some for Gaslands, and I still have to paint them and model them, and strip the Hot Wheels paint off them. I have so much work to do with those. I keep forgetting about them. Who needs B? I'd get a Zamboni. I mean, yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of a bummer if you were really after the B. I'm expecting the Optimus will be easier to get because he's big and weird. And then what? Well, yeah, here's the Optimus. He's big and weird. On pre-order for $10. Oh. I just saw in the thread below. Apparently that's the movie Autobot symbol. The one I can barely ever tell is the movie one when someone says it is. Okay, it's like pointier. I never see it. I know what people mean. I understand what the difference is. I just never see it unless someone like points at it and says that's the movie one. And I'm like, oh. Optimus is up for pre-order on BBT. Okay, you can get him on his own. Okay, yeah. That's simple. Gaslands is a tabletop game, which is a really cool system. I've not actually gotten to play it yet. I just have the rulebook. And it's kind of a Mad Max style game, and it's designed around the idea that for miniatures, you just buy Hot Wheels and customize them. And Gaslands, like, partners with one company to make, like, add-on parts or, like, little Hot Wheels scale driver crews, or little motorcycles, but, like, generally it's just, like, buy some Hot Wheels, glue a bunch of spikes to them. That's your Gaslands car. You're going on a race, Mad Max style. You got rocket launchers and stuff. But yeah, I've not gotten to play it. I just bought a bunch of stuff for it. That's the story of the early 2020s for me. Saw a cool game, bought the rules and a bunch of stuff for it, and never played it. That's how I roll. But yeah, like $10 for a Hot Wheels with a big ass trailer seems fine. Yeah, okay, JT Elm's got it's like Warhammer, but with Hot Wheels instead of minis and fun instead of debt. Yeah, from what I saw, it's got a lot of the stuff I liked about Gorka Morka when I was in high school playing that. I just haven't had a chance to, like, sit down and play it. I just like the fact that you could, like, make all your own stuff for it. So I bought a bunch of oven cleaner to, like, strip the Mattel paint off the Hot Wheels cars, because I thought, like, oh, I'll just spray over it. Then I saw some videos where they're like, if you strip the paint off of Hot Wheels, the detail on the sculpt becomes, like, 10 times crisper, because they glop that Mattel paint onto them. So if you strip it off and paint them like miniatures, they look super crisp, and I'm like, I gotta try that. I gotta try that. Also, there's a comic book Grimlock here. Is this the first side-by-side we've seen of, like, the two of them? I think that's neat. I want him for the swords, admittedly. I'm one of those. But if the comic book styling, like the sketchy stuff, is applied as well as those cel-shaded deco they did on the Siege, Optimus, and Megatron some years ago, then, like, this could be pretty cool. He sure is blue. Now, he's not blue. He's comic book black. Someone told me that once. Let's see. YOLO Park is doing an ape link, and it's an Instagram video. Why y'all gotta be so weird? Okay, here's photos. What's his face? I never... Okay, he's got an Optimus Prime kind of face. People see details in live-action movie Transformers I just never notice. When it's like, MPM Megatron does not come with the correct mush of metal ball on the end of his flail. And I'm like, whoever noticed what the flail looked like? But people did. It is kind of weird, though, seeing Ape Link looking like normal and a robot. Strange. Star Raiders lineup. I saw people going like, can people help me track down a Filch? And I was like, but they're all 2-packs. And then I kind of sat there for a second and I was like, wait, they're not 2-packs. I just keep thinking everything's 2-packs now. There's the crew. It is like a cool looking crew. I'm liking it more than the BotCon 2015 pirate crew. I didn't mind that pirate crew, but I think I was mostly into it because they had Viacons. I like the 4 color palettes in this. Yeah, Cannonball's just looking like a fella here, just chilling out. Like, this is a nicely made. If I'm gonna get into, if I got Transformers expert for a second here, the composition of this photograph is also just very good. Like, the only awkward part is that, what's his name, Ferrak, the who I mean. Anyway, that pose with him holding the gun up is kind of weird, but. Otherwise, this is like a good mugshot. Is it Ferrak? It is Ferrak. Okay. I never remember his name. Well, I say that right after I got his name right. I hadn't gotten a good look at Filch's new head here. That looks really nice. Yeah, they look big in that picture, partly because it's an upshot. So the camera is angled up, and it makes them inherently look gigantic. See, this is a down shot. Now they look less big. I already called him Cyclonus. Immediately forgot his actual name again. Poor Ferrak. Endlessly disrespected. Let's get a look at Lugshot. Lugshot? What am I talking about? Lockdown's mug. Where's my legacy Lugshot? Answer a real fan the real question, Hasbro. Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. I think because I know what I know the structure of that face, that I see the face in it. That chest is kind of cool. Is that the... Oh. Is that a new chest? Like, fully new chest? I didn't really take, like, the closest look at these guys. Oh, Sean lugged out my OTP. Well, Filch snuck in bird mode. They're like, you're bird? Okay, you got a nose? Alright, you're in. And Filch was like, nah, they don't know that I have a robot mode. Fools! Yeah, Griffman, like, the more people pointed out that the retools on Ferrak are in service of his status of being a BotCon repaint that was already a little bit of a stretch, makes the toy twice as interesting to me. Like, new chest, new head, so you look more like a different Cyclonus who was also once repainted as Ferrak. We already did Toy Color Cyclonus, unfortunately. And he doesn't have any of that, right? No, he doesn't. Does he? No. Yeah, that's different. Yeah. Alright, what else is new? I got like 10 more minutes. Oh, yeah. I got hype about this, because I was like, okay, it's a flip changer, Optimus, whatever. But then I didn't even watch the video. I saw this, and I was like, these are back? Because this, I never owned one. But this is legit one of the coolest Transformers tech ideas of the friggin' century. The, like, wring 'em out like a towel transformation. So friggin' cool. Is that what these are doing? I could look at the video, I guess, but that's what these are doing, right? Sideswipe Prime, that is true. That is how we get Legacy and his Armada. If they're true fans, that's how we get it. RC Filmworks, I did see Dreamstar Toys doing Prowlistator. I would like to know how it works, because the Dreamstar Toys aerial bots look like anti-fun to me. But it's harder to make Devastator guys not fun, if that makes sense. So I'm curious if it'll be, like, up my alley or not. Ilker Sunmez, yeah, I'm really sorry. We started like about 2.5 hours ago. There is going to be a full VOD available, so if you do want to go back and see what we cracked open as we did it, it'll all be right there. Okay, Griffman says, you hit the button to go Orion to Optimus, then towel ring him for the super mode. That's sick. Okay, I'm going to see what the video does when I play it. Don't demonetize me, please. I just want to see how the children's toy works. Sick.
I am Optimus Prime.
Yeah, okay. Here we go! Yeah, you mix the towel ring in with, like, the Cyberverse pop-out armor, you got something going on there.
Transform and roll out.
That's neat. Like, leader price point, gimmick toy, that seems really solid. Like, I think there's, like, given that, like, his legs and everything all do different things, I think there's, because the photos made it look like the legs don't do anything between the two robot modes, but I bet you could keep them squished for Orion and then, like, out for Optimus. But it's not Toy of the Century yet. There's no Mecha Live. They haven't united everything together the way I want them quite yet. That toy says transform. Yeah, that's right, Wheeljack64. Do we think it has knees? Good question. I think it did in some of these shots. I might be wrong. Oh no, maybe it doesn't because it does the telescoping. Let's see. Does it? Yeah, kid, play with that toy. Hang on. You can see the back of the legs there. I don't think there's knees. Because because of the telescoping gimmick, I think that's taking the place of knees. Friggin' multi-clicking freeze framing through this video of a child actor enjoying a toy kind of fakely. Have I seen One Step Wheeljack and Arachnid? I saw the Arachnid. I thought they would be in this news story, but I guess it's getting its own thing. Custom controller kits. Where is it? I thought it was front page somewhere. Oh, here's the Woo. Here's the Dr. Woo Wingman. I think this looks really fun. I like little Cyclonuses. Yeah, Griffman, like, there is a rounded part in there. I think it's more like... It looked more likely to me to just be the sculpt than an actual hinge. But, you know... I'm not gonna, like, go, like, it is not a hinge and, like, fight over it with anyone. They did not provide me with enough evidence to make a proper call. But I could see the fact that the legs extend in and out, like, the thighs extend in and out of the shins. I could see that as being a reason to not have knee joints, because the toy might not be stable. Especially if you do the ringing thing, that could make the knees bend when they're not in a healthy position to do so. Y'all gonna get one of these limited edition Revenge of the Fallen shavers? What? I saw a small picture of these. I did not catch that they are Revenge of the Fallen branded. Yeah, I saw, what was it? One of the Kang Toys Dinobots was out at TFCon LA, and I saw someone else's, and it looked kind of neat. Yeah, they're Revenge of the Fallen. Look at the top right. Phillips coming in 15 years late. We finally finished our shavers. Don't worry, everybody. Megatron's iconic tank mode is represented here with our Phillips branded Revenge of the Fallen shaver. Yeah, Ruby Nuva, same. Like, when I saw this a tiny version of this on my phone, I was like, I guess it's Ride of the Beast. Scroll. You know what the fans want. Rexodus, I made you buy G-Axes. Ugh. Pay me, Hasbro. Pay me. I want the $15 profit you made from selling them. Pay me. By the way, I ate before the stream. But that was also late lunch. Wreck and shave. Hell yeah, pee pee poo poo. They gotta listen. I'm a freelancer. Give me. Dear Repro Labels, please make a label set for these Phillips Revenge of the Fallen Transformers branded shavers, so I may work them into my coupon code ad spot. Yeah, I'm so hyped. This filter's a little janky, and it's not always doing the job I wanted it to do of, like, not showing my mess, but also, I love that it always gets this thing. For the friggin' redacted soda, 100% accuracy rate. Why is there a bunny? That's from the podcast. That's because Aaron went down a rabbit hole full of Diaclone Reboot. Aaron bought a Diaclone Reboot powered Convoy GX on the current aftermarket. If you know what that means, then you know what that means. I just want to go looking one more time for that thing, but I don't see it. I only saw Cyberverse Deluxe Prowl once, so when I saw this photo, I thought this was a brand new toy. Like 100%. Also, I have 3 more toys to open. One of them I bought at my local Walmart. It's this. I never got the Warrior version. Apparently I lost out. I wanted to get Deluxe Terrans. So, by the way, I have one more Transformers box shred stream locked and loaded for some time in the next 5 days involving this. That's why I thought it was funny when I saw, like, some people go like, man, when I get a hold of that Thrash, whenever that thing comes out, and I'm like, there were 2 at my Walmart. What? I think this Prowl looks great. I think that this is probably the Takara Tomy Deco at work, though. I'd kind of like one, but then the Cyberverse one came with, like, these effect parts, right? And, like, those also looked cool. The Prowl and Starscream Deluxes both came out when I couldn't afford them, and they both had a bunch of effect parts, and I was like, these look neat. One of these days. Wait, did someone say something about the chest? Oh no, they're talking about other toys now. Never mind. I hope you all have been looking at the behind-the-scenes stuff, because, like, look at what the Rock Lords might have been. There was a moment where Boulder Crash was like a gem lord, and then was like infected with Dark Energon, and that whole concept I think is super friggin' cool. The like, what if the Rock Lords are infected with Transformers rocks? And I like they're doing it on Nucleus, like that's cool. But I really wish like Shard had been like the Dark Energon hive mother that she almost was. Oh yeah, the Hot Rod is also Prowl. Right? Or maybe that's supposed to be Blue I don't know. I'm really bad at keeping up with the Earthspark Deluxe line because I feel like like with Cyberverse Deluxes, new parts of it just kind of appear, and I'm like, huh? Shard's based off the Chaos Crystals, but she was gonna be purple, and like that would have been Dark Energon Hive Mother. Mark Mara liked my reply on Instagram when I said that. He's on the level. Okay, Griffman, US Earthspark Prowl is Cyberverse Hot Rod, but Japanese Earthspark Prowl is Cyberverse Prowl. That's even weirder to parse. And yeah, he looks more like Checkpoint. It's, I think, a decent Checkpoint. I love this. Like, look at this. We get, can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah. The sketched, numbered, sequential transformation. These things are so magic to me. Because it's like, this is basically like what someone just kind of like went, alright, here's how it can work. Just scribble this out. And it's basically the toy. I think that's really cool. Anyway, I'll quickly flip through these, but I think there's a lot of cool information in this stuff, and I hope it does not get lost to time. Like, friggin', look at the top here. Like, the color-coded graph paper, just draw over the photograph of the CAD to figure it out. It's like, how does a brain do that? I love that there are folks who still do this on graph paper. Also, shout out Night/Cheetor in this. But yeah, much like I was talking about with the plush stuff, I think there's something magic about this too, when like, we need this to turn into this, and then someone just sits down with like some graph paper and goes like, alright, give me a sec, give me like 8 colors of pens. Again, come back to me after the weekend. And it's like, okay, I figured something out. And it's like, how? Going back to the fact that original MP Megatron was designed from scratch on a weekend. Bonkers. What's a Beast Machine? Beast Machines was the TV show that came out after Beast Wars. It takes place on Cybertron. If you were in the fandom in the year 2000, it was a heated, nigh insufferable thing to engage with within the fandom because everyone was super mad, either against it or at the people who didn't like it, and it was really hard to find anything in between. So for little baby me in the fandom, I was real scared of having any opinions on it. Anyway, I think that's about it. There's our Vector Prime. I agree, by the way, if he had that maroon on the forearms, I think that this thing would like pop 100 times harder. I just, like, if you look at him, I see all the paintwork being done already. Like, that torso is eating up a ton of it. The head's eating up a ton of it. The gold trim is eating up a ton of it. I think if I were making calls about what to cut, that would be the first thing I cut, would be that maroon. But it definitely would have helped them a lot, going off of this photo. And this photo, by the way, because people have pointed it out, really quickly pointed it out, and it's true. there's no way the toy was really gonna like look like exactly that, because that's like a Photoshop kit bash thing to get the concept across. But the forearm deco looks real good on that. Jack64, conceptually, Beast Machine is what fans want, a show set on Cybertron with no humans. I said the same thing about Cyberverse. No human characters, even when they're on Earth. It's technically, if you write down all the bullet points, legally, it's what people kept yelling that they want. Oh, remember, specifically, the writers were told not to watch Beast Wars, but then they just did anyway, after, like, while they were either partway through or after they finished Season 1. They did watch Beast Wars afterwards, and I don't know how much of this is, like, escaped Usenet, but I distinctly recall the writers said there's an entire episode that is highly out of character for Rat Trap, and after they watched Beast Wars, in hindsight, like within a year of it coming out, they said just retcon that episode. Just pretend that episode doesn't exist. We have no way of fixing that, and none of us think there's a way for that to fit, so just pretend that never happened. Like, there's one episode of Beast Machine Season 1 that is like that. Around Rat Trap. I just can't remember which one. But I distinctly recall younger me thinking it was pretty baller that the writers were like, so suddenly in tune with folks that they were just like, retcon it. We're doing it live. Just retcon the episode. Watch it. Take whatever you want out of it. Just don't think that you have to reference every single factoid of it. The weak component was the episode. Okay. Anyway, I like this guy. Like, what I'll say is, the wings are very static. The main thing that I wanted to know is, like, can the wings do anything but this? And Mark's, like, intense posing showed me stuff with the wings, like, here. That's already making me, like, warm up to the wings a little bit more. But, like, you can see, like, the component count alone for them to do more probably would have been goofball stuff. I don't mind that this thing's got a little snub nose, because I think that entire nose tip has to fit inside the torso. And if you look, it's the same shape as the torso. Like, the general shape of the torso is kind of the same shape as that snub nose. So I think it is partly a snub nose to fit in there. And I think that had there been the ability to work it in, there probably would have been one more flip-out segment. I anticipate that it was probably at least considered. The original's wings did not actually do much. They just did stuff in a different axis. So it's really easy to feel like they did more. The original's wings also, like, especially on the North American release, were garbage. A lot of people remember Galaxy Force Vector Prime's wings in place of Cybertron Vector Prime's wings, I think. Because Galaxy Force Vector Primes had paint trim, and somehow, at least 18 years ago, kind of held shape decently. I don't know if maybe that is still the case in 2024. Cybertron Vector Primes did not hold shape in 2005, 6, whenever. The original wings had a joint down the middle so they could flatten out, so they did pull off the cape thing some more. But yeah, it's very give and take. Anything that they did better, they did something else worse, I think. So it's sort of, it's a side grade kind of situation. And I was saying to someone else, I suspect if you're cool with using a bit of glue, because the leg wire stuff... There we go. There, he's got a front facing here. It's in a divot. I think it would not be hard for someone to design a shaped printable plate that one would glue over top of that. I don't think would be to everyone's taste, but I think that solution is very straightforward and doable. Because there is like a shaped divot. Like, there's probably a way to do it without glue, I'm sure. It's just when I see that divot, I'm like, if nobody likes the wires whatsoever, it seems like it would be very simple for someone who knows their 3D print design to be able to come up with a shaped piece that you could do 2 copies of and, like, glue on there. Clock. That's right. That Cybertron Sideways thing is from the kind of leak list where I'm like, I kind of need to know more about the names involved in this. It could well be what's happening, but I would say like, hey, see what happens. I would say Winky, see what happens. Also, yeah, I think, like, for the colors, too, I think a lot of folks... I mean, I'm guilty of this because I bought Galaxy Force Vector Prime when he came out, and I never bought Cybertron Vector Prime. Galaxy Force Vector Prime is, I think, the one in everyone's memory. Because it looks nicer. But yeah, original Vector Prime had really weird, hinky colors. It wasn't like, I don't think it was like terrible, but at the time it was kind of like, this is odd. This is strange. Mark just put up Cybertron Hotshot. I want to see. No. There we go. So he did. Our worlds are in danger. Good man. Brown and stark white, or off-white and maroon. Alright, let's see. Please collect another Cyberplanet key to keep them from the Decepticons to be used for evil. It is our mission. Welcome another Cybertron Starcast member. Deluxe Hotshot is ready to grace your collection. The amazing Tomo-san from Takara Tomy has done an amazing job with this figure. His dedication and passion for Transformers toys really shines through for this figure. Please check out his Project Kickoff art. You will also be able to check out what I had the privilege to contribute to this sweet figure. It sometimes feels like we're moving at Velocitron-type speeds developing these figures. There's just so much to do and so many little things at once. Multiple figures at all different scales, at different stages of development, different programs, different age targets for different products. I have no idea how we all do it, honestly. Scrolling. But there are so many damned exciting things happening right for Transformers. I really hope the good vibes keep going. Legacy United has even more gems, diamonds to drop, so stay tuned. All right, let's see what the pictures are. I know. Listen, I didn't warm up. I don't have my headband on. I'm not reading at full speed. Gun. Effect parts. Have we seen all those Cyberplanet keys? Starscream, Vector Prime, Hotshot, Red Alert. Okay, or Cannonball. Okay, so we have seen all of those. Look at them, it's the boys! Hey, General Techno. Oh, here we go, here we go. This is what I like. I like on the bottom, insert force chip. Reveal by hand. That was funny. Force chip. Only attachment. Yeah, new mark post. So this is Tomo-san's project kickoff art. Height 5.5 inches based on legacy override being 6 inches, apparently. Ooh, I like this stuff too. This is, yeah, Mark has shown some of these where it's like they get a base CAD and then Mark goes in and like sketches sculpting over top of the base CAD. It's a really cool way to modify like a design, I think, in progress. Look at this! I love this stuff! Like, I don't know a lot about how this works, practically speaking. I think it is kind of amazing that a creative process can be working, like, hopping from graph paper to CAD to drawing on still images of the CAD to physical toy. Like, there's something really cool about that workflow. At least conceptually. Alright, well that seems like a good place to... Yeah, this is why you need artists in toy design right here. Hell yeah, General Techno. This is like a great example of like just the nature of artistic collaboration in projects. Like it's for friggin', you know, it's for a big corporation, big box shelf product, right? But even within that, you can still have these beautiful moments of collaboration between creatives. And then ideally, you know, something like this can translate to like more like how do you put this? Freer, less tethered passion projects, right? Somehow down the road. Don Biz says that's called veneering, if I recall correctly. Very cool. I didn't know there's a word for it. Veneering. That makes sense. It's just veneering. It's logical. It's astonishing to me that it can actually manifest. Like, obviously there's skill set involved, right? You can't like veneer like a friggin' you know, eggplant shaped nose onto a toy and go like, put that there. But like, it's such a cool way to like figure some of this stuff out. I don't know. I wish that this process could be more transparent live. It would be so neat to like actually follow for 2 years a real Transformer from concept to release, like, in real time. That'd be so neat. Flame 5, I'm glad we can complete the mother and son duo of Override and Hotshot. That's right, Velocitron's first family. Anyway, I should enforce upon myself the limitation I wanted to. Yeah, I mean, like, objectively speaking, the reason you wouldn't do it publicly transparently is because someone with access to modern tools as well would write down everything you're doing and then fart out a mold, you know, ahead of your own PR cycle, and is done. It's... Demonstrably, that happens the moment anyone gets a hold of a CAD model, right? So... Oh, yeah, Techno, I'm thinking specifically, like, you just think about what happened to MP36. We got the CAD model. We'll fix up the parts of it that the very first person to buy it says feels kind of janky. Fart them out as fast as possible. On his shins, directly above the wheels, is this weird round bit. Rewind. Oh, I kind of see what you mean, that little hump. I wonder if that's structural. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, there's a little, kind of odd little humpy thing there. My assumption would be that that is, like, structural translating through design intent into a weird little lump. That would just be me, like, ballparking a guess, though, right up front. Because, yeah, it's not in any of the design shots. Nor is it even... It's kind of here? Kind of here? In this one? I don't know. It could be attachment point of a double hinge. That's true. That's true. Yeah, like that. I guess that also could fall under like structural. Because that, you know, that'll happen. Sometimes plastic just doesn't work the way you want it to, and then it suddenly works when you add a little like lump onto it. That's been what I've observed, at least, is like sometimes, like with lots of moving parts, it's like, well, if we go this little glob onto there, onto the superstructure, now it doesn't break, and it's like, okay. Or maybe they added it to make the part less flat too. Like, yeah, I think this falls into the category of like, we'd have to have been there like a year ago to ask, because at this point, I'm sure if you say, hey, Mark, and you point at it, that little lump there, Mark would kind of probably... I assume Mark would be like, I don't even know what you're pointing at. All I see is Legacy Hotshot. But I'm making assumptions. Someone should ask him on Instagram. Can't be me. There's too much evidence. He'll find this YouTube stream. He'll know what we did. Anyway, I'm going to force the issue on myself a little bit. I got messages. What is this? Things. All right. So. Oh, interesting. Thinner thighs for Legacy Evolution. Sorry, I'm just looking at my Discord. Hi, what's up? Thanks for watching that stream, especially if you're here live, but also especially if you're a VOD watcher who went through to the end, because like we all are looking at you right now. We see you lying in bed, and we're hoping that if you're hearing this, it's because you're actually drifting off to sleep. You don't have to get up and like start a new video. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just lie down. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and let the warmth take you over. But yeah, I'll be back again sooner than later. I'd like to do some more Elden Ringing. I've got another couple of toys to rip open. Gotta figure out another time for those history streams. This last couple of weeks, professionally a little bit odd on my end, and now odd again, and everything's like reflipped, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, have a good night. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you later. Hey, where's my button? I'll see ya later. Good fondling night. Busy hands are sinful hands.
Let them come.